आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
You'll follow me for chanting?
मैं वैसे ट्राई कर लेता हूँ
जी, very good. ठीक है. 1 to 5.
हाँ यस अर्जुन उवाच जायसी चेत्कर्मणस्ते मता बुद्धिर्जनार्दन तत्किं कर्मणि घोरे मां नियोजयसि केशव व्यामिश्रेणेव वाक्येन बुद्धिं मोहयसीव मे तदेकं वद निश्चित्य येन श्रेयोऽहमाप्नुयाम्। श्री भगवान उवाच लोकेऽस्मिन् द्विविधा निष्ठा पुरा प्रोक्ता मया नघ ज्ञानयोगेन साङ्ख्यानां कर्मयोगेन योगिनां न कर्मणामनारम्भा नैष्कर्म्यं पुरुषोऽश्नुते न च संन्यसनादेव सिद्धि समति गच्छति न हि कश्चित् जन्मति जातुतिष्ठत्य कर्मकृत् कार्यते ह्यवशा कर्म सर्व प्रकृतिजैर्गुणैः कर्मेन्द्रियाणि संयम्य य आस्ते मनसा स्मरन् इन्द्रियार्थानि मूढात्मा मिथ्याचार स उच्यते।
Very good. Wonderful.
7th इसके आगे भी पढ़ना है?
नहीं, बस. Wonderful. Very good. Excellent effort. Great. Thank you. So we are seeing Vedas are our Praman, source of knowledge. They are our Praman. Praman, valid means for knowledge. In general, a broad category of classification, division within Vedas is karma part and jnana part. Karma part is a large repository of verses. Jnana Kand is Upanishads interspersed in between the various Brahmanas, Samhitas. In between that you will find Upanishads are there, and Upanishads are entirely the Jnana Kand. Based on these two available knowledges through the Vedas, The permutation and the combinations of the two are various schools of thought. They dominate the thinking at some point or the other in society. Some dominate more at one point, some other thought dominates at another point. How are the combinations possible? Vedas, if they say you have karma and gyan, you can say knowledge, I'm sorry, purpose of Vedas is moksha. You can say moksha is possible through karma alone, and knowledge is supportive to karma, knowledge of karma. The karma kand part, the knowledge of karma, means there is a knowledge of how to do what karmas to do according to your class and station of life. That is one part. The other part is knowledge, and knowledge is, I'm rephrasing myself, karma part of it, telling you how to do what karmas to do. If that is the dominant school, then others are saying, means that school would say, knowledge is a supplementary part. It will only help you to perform your karmas better. If you have the knowledge that your Atma and Atma is Nitya, whatever Upanishads are revealing, then you will get more sense of purity within yourself, and because of which you will do your karmas better. So the first combination of first understanding that can come from the two sections is, some people will stand by the thought, because karma is a large body of the Vedas. Vedas are more dedicated to karmas and upasanas. Therefore, that is the mukhya prayojanam, the main purpose of Vedas. A second part can be that Gyan alone is the main part of the Vedas. ज्ञान से ही मोक्ष मिलता है. तो फिर कर्म का क्या? What about karma part? Karma part is useful first to get your sakama drishti fulfilled, but more important is to help one develop nishkama drishti. And through that nishkama drishti, your antakaran gets purified, and that antakaran is getting ready for receiving the gyan of the Upanishads that you are Atma and Atma is Nitya. Having that gyan, you will have mukti. That is the second part. A third possibility of the two is what? Combine both. It's the combination of the two that will give you moksha. And that is called samuchaya. Samuchaya means gyan karm ko ikattha karo. Important thing that they say is, even after jnana nishtha, the continuity of karma should not stop, even after you have knowledge. Nishtha is also one aspect, but even for those who have taken to a full time involvement with Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam, full time study, full time, their life is spent only to learn, and they keep themselves away from too much of sense of duties. Keeping all of this in mind, these people are avoiding realm of karma, because of which karmas become a means, a sadhanam, a means for atmagyan. These are the only three possible combinations. Can you think of any fourth? Anybody can think of any fourth? Is there a fourth combination possible? If there are two things, Gyan and Karam, Gyan and Karam, only Gyan or only Karam? Is there another fourth possible?
I don't think so.
है ना? No, it's not possible. If you say neither Gyan nor Karam, another possibility, someone can say neither Gyan nor Karam. If it is neither Gyan nor Karam, then there is no means for mukti. You're already that. That Shastra says is a samsari. So, seeing this, what is Advaita Vedanta and Shankaracharya's predominant clarity in his expositions in the Bhashyams? Once again, I repeat, it's not Shankaracharya himself who is saying this. It was the parampara that came of thought, handed down from one to another. In that parampara, Kevala Gyan, Gyanat Kevalat, only through knowledge, Mukti, Siddhi, Prapyate. You get Prapti of Mukti. What is the means? Kevala Gyanam. So, karma for them, for us, the clarity has to be we have two impulses within us. एक तो है जो हम when we see something we want, we go all out to get it. One set of people. You have a desire and they are go-getters. They will not stop till they get what they want. Very often they don't even mind the consequences. They don't even think about the consequences. They are certain what they want and they will spend their life, they'll spend every energy, everything they have to get what they want. There's another category of people who will have what they want, they know what they want, but they don't have the drive for it. They don't have, you know, action plan behind it. They don't have the stamina to pursue it. They don't have the will to generate the capacity, the perseverance, the consistency, whatever is required to fulfill that. So they lay back, they sit back, they say, होना है तो होगा, नहीं होगा तो भगवान. That's where भगवान comes very helpful. भगवान की मर्जी है तो होगा, नहीं हुआ तो भगवान की मर्जी. So you put it on भगवान. What have you put on भगवान? Your lack of effort, you put on भगवान. If he wills, I will get it. If he doesn't will, I will not have it. Therefore, what's the use of putting effort? उसकी मर्जी है तो मिलेगा, नहीं है तो नहीं मिलेगा. That sort of a approach to your life, the direction to your life. Both these, Shastra says, is the source of bondage. They are both tying you down. They are both going to not give mukti, not even give shanti. So he said, Krishna says here, those who are not even bringing up the initiative to pursue their own desires, what they have, such people are never going to get the state of Naishkarmya. Means you can become free of the cycle of karma. वो अवस्था जहाँ शांत हो आप, no push from within and no pull from outside. The world does not pull you and you don't get pushed from within. That is the real state of Shanti. I'm repeating myself. हम चीज़ें देखते हैं दुनिया में. We see things, we hear things, desires build up. We think this is what I want, that I don't want. There's a pull from the world. that puts us into the realm of action. Then there is a push from within, already existent desires. They push me to go fulfill them. They make me restless, that I need to act on them then. Krishna says, such people who have these desires within themselves but do not do anything about it. Naishkarmya Siddhi is where the pull and the push are not there, shant ho gaya hai. The world is not pulling you and there is no push from within. दोनों नहीं है. That is your real sthiti of shanti. Where is that shanti? In our present understanding and present experience, we only know sleep as that state of shanti. हमें वो आनंद सिर्फ नींद में आता है. जैसे ही हम जागते हैं, शांति is only a serial. It used to come. Shanti is only arbitrary. Shanti is only a hope. The minute we wake up, there is restlessness to do something. So, that desirable state that one looks for, one wants, is freedom from doing, not doing. It's an achievable state. It's achievable to be with that drishti, live like that, in that shanti. That state is only your own actual swarupa, आपका स्वरूप, your innermost core nature. What is your core nature? Has anybody ever thought about what is my core nature? What is my actual swabhav? Anybody who starts thinking along that line, you will realize that my understanding of myself, मेरा स्वभाव बदलता रहता है. It changes from people to people, person to etc. etc. Situation to situation, stage to stage. Is that swabhav that I recognize myself as the source of shanti? Is that manaha shanti also? Is that shanti that I am aspiring for? Shastra says here, that is not your core swarup. And here the core swarup means it's not A, B, C, D, kisi ka, your own core swarup. As long as you're not in recognition of that core place of your being, where are you centered? Where are you truly? Who are you? That knowledge, when you have and you're connected to that, yuktho, you're joined to that core nature of yours, then that avastha is naishkarmyam. You can be resting with within. Doing or not doing, both have no impact on you. The world has lost its power to touch you because you are distinct and separated from what is an appearance. Snake is an appearance on rope. Snake can do nothing to the rope because the real nature of snake is not snake. The core nature of snake is the underlying, overpowering, inhering. What is that which inheres snake? What is it which underlines snake? What is it which overpowers snake? What is it without which the snake cannot exist? What is giving existence to snake? Is the rope, the presence of rope. If there is no rope, there cannot be a mistaken snake looking like rope. Or I will rephrase that: rope which is looking like a snake, you cannot mistake it. So, Naishkarmya Avastha, which Krishna here in the fourth verse is saying, Siddhim, that's Siddhi, accomplishment. Your life journey is accomplished at this point when you know your core Swarup. Your life journey does not complete itself till this Siddhi. Siddhi word means accomplished. प्राप्त हो गई. Samadhi gacchati. You have gone to it, means you have attained it. Ashnute. प्राप्त हो गई. When do you get this is the whole topic of Vedas and the spiritual path. How will you conduct your life that at the end, before death, does away with the body? In this Sharir Yatra of yours, how are you concluding this set of experiences that you are freeing yourself more rather than binding yourself more? Because this life cycle doesn't end till that Naishkarmya Avastha is gained. So Krishna says, and a huge advice, beautiful advice, extraordinary advice, I would say, to any thinker जिसके अंदर मन में आ जाता है कर्मों को छोड़ने का भाव. कभी कभी मन में थक जाते हैं, क्लेश आता है, राग द्वेष आता है. You just want to give up the whole realm of effort. I can't be bothered. Just as Arjuna says, I don't want to fight this war. Krishna's advice is, I'm repeating it because after a lot of repetition, also, we miss this point. The impulse takes us over. Na karmana anarambhat. Whoever doesn't even bother to put in the effort to fulfill their own set of desires, कर्म को आरंभ ही नहीं करते. You don't enter the realm of karma. You sit doing without karma. Invariably, you will find yourself more peaceful if you don't take responsibilities, if you don't do karmas. Isn't it true? Why do we all remember our childhood days more? Why do we cherish those days? The older we get, more cherishable they become. And it is not that in childhood stage of ours we did not cry, that we did not have suffering, that we did not have. In fact, I would comfortably say that our suffering as a child was far more than we have suffering as an adult. But yet, as an adult, where do our memories hang on to? Where are we latching on to? To what do we remember? What do we remember? That childhood stage. Why? Because the sense of responsibility was not there. कुछ करना नहीं है वहां. एवरीथिंग कुछ किया जा रहा है, सब कुछ हो रहा है, कुछ करना नहीं पड़ रहा. That will always be a carefree childhood. That will always be a state of relaxation. Krishna says, if you desire a permanent state of relaxation, then not doing will not take you there. And that's a big, big, big statement. Means what? Whatever be one's nature, कर्म में उसको लगाए रहो. Your physical body must remain in action. कर्म करते हुए रहना चाहिए. कौन से कर्म? In the Vedic vision, your ashram dharmas. Whatever are your ashram dharmas. In modern aspect of life and society, whatever is your inner nature inclined towards. And we can have a combination of both. At every stage of our life, our set of duties and responsibilities are fairly well known and defined. अपने मन में उनको अवॉइड करना, उनको शॉर्टकट लेना, उनको बाईपास करना is not desirable according to Krishna. Why? Because they will, he's going to say it in the next verse, they are the ones that are going to keep you bound in a way that you won't even recognize where the bondage lies. So, first healthy way of living is remain in action. कर्म करते रहो अपने स्वधर्म के हिसाब से, अपने ड्यूटीज के हिसाब से. Whatever falls in your sense of duty, you have chosen them, you choose your duties, abide in them. That is what he says. Why? If you don't abide, you will never be peaceful. Our thinking is, if we abide in duties, we lose our peace. Isn't that true?
That's the general idea we have.
That's the general idea we have. That's the general idea we have. Duties burden us. Krishna says, keep doing them. And the second line he says, Nacha sanyasanat eva. Sanyas leke. Sirf sanyas leke. Eva. Mere sanyas. Mere avastha. Change of external. Kasha. You're just changing your vastram. Sirf vastra badal ke. Sticking to a more comfortable life, seemingly comfortable, because it will reduce your sense of responsibility. There will be a society which will take care of you to a certain extent. You have a right as a sannyasi to ask for your sustenance. Vedas have given you that right as an ashram. But if you are not chitta shuddha manaha and you take to sannyasa, siddhim na samadhi gacchati, you will not get siddhi also. And here Madhusudana Saraswati very beautifully brings up. It is worth once again going over it. And he says, Chitta Shuddhi Vina, without Chitta Shuddhi. So, what is karma done? Karma you have to keep doing. Introduce Karma Yoga to your karmas. This Karma Yoga is of the nature of offering every action of yours to the higher understanding. That will loosen your ragadvesh, loosen your ahankar. In time, indirectly, it loosens. Once that is there, you are ready for knowledge, you are ready for sannyas. But chitta shuddhi vina, without chitta shuddhi, sannyasat eva, if you just take to sannyasa, then jnana nishtha lakshanam kritat siddhim samyak phal paryavasayittvena adhigacchati naiva prapnoti iti arthaha. You will not get the phal of gyan sannyas. Is the point clear? Very important, because our tendency to escape from our duty, a large portion of it is because we think we are overqualified. ये हमारा काम नहीं है, ये हमारा काम नहीं है. Even those who have their delegated actions, service oriented people, if they have a delegated set of work, they will only do that work because ये हमारा काम नहीं है. So a lot of people who take to adhyatmic jivan, they have this subtle arrogance or the subtle self conclusion that karmas is not for us now. They feel superior a little. That sannyas will not work for you, will not help you. Karmajanyam chitta shuddhim antarena sannyasa eva na sambhavati means if through your karmas you don't get chitta shuddhi, then even sannyas is actually not possible. And sannyas means what? Not just the change of ashram, vastra change, color change, not just that. Sannyas, mental sthiti, naishkarmya sthiti. Why he says, if karma shuddhi abhave, when there is no karma shuddhi, कर्मों के through अंतकरण की शुद्धि abhave, absence of that shuddhi, what happens? Bahirmukha. It's very important. Years and years and years we have spent, we will continue to, because this word is extremely important to tell us whether we are ready for Sarva Karma Sannyas or not. Bahirmukha means what? Yesterday we saw to some extent. I just want to elaborate a little more on that because most of us are in that nature. What is Bahirmukha? Joined with our senses, as we said yesterday. अपनी इंद्रियों के साथ जुड़े हुए हैं हम. Because of which what? Our attention is on the external world. इंद्रिया बाहर की तरफ ही दिखा रही है. कठोपनिषद says that. You only see, your eyes will only show you color and form. Your eyes cannot show you your nature. आपके मन की वृत्ति को भी आपकी आंख नहीं दिखा सकती. मेरे मन में क्या चल रहा है आंख नहीं दिखा सकती मुझको. तुम्हारे मन में क्या चल रहा है तो बिल्कुल भी नहीं दिखा सकती. So what is the limit of eyes? Eyes can only show us what is outside. What about the rest of the organs? Same thing. So one who is not got chitta shuddhi, उसका लक्षण क्या है? जिसकी चित्त शुद्धि नहीं है उसका लक्षण क्या है? बहिर्मुखः. He remains looking outside. उसका अटेंशन सब बाहर में है. लोग क्या कर रहे हैं, उनके घर में क्या हो रहा है, उसका क्या हो रहा है, उसका all that, it is only outside. That bahirmukhata, because bahirmukh hai, therefore nahi kaschit shanamapi, not even for a moment, koi bhi, the one who is externally oriented, like an extrovert, looks only outside, has a sense of reality about outside, such ones, not even for a moment, shanamapi, jatu tishtati akarmakrit, can they remain sitting, tishtati, आराम से बैठते हैं, बिना कुछ किए. They cannot sit without doing anything. Here the commentator says, kadachit kaschit api ajitendriyaha. Anybody remembers the meaning of ajitendriyaha? What does it mean?
इंद्रियों पे इंद्रियों पे कंट्रोल.
हाँ, very good.
इंद्रियों को जीत लेना.
जीतना नहीं, अजितेंद्रियः, जिन्होंने अपने इंद्रियों पे वश नहीं किया. Who do not have control over their इंद्रियास, जिनकी इंद्रियों पे कोई काबू नहीं है. जिसकी इंद्रियों पे काबू नहीं है वही बहिर्मुख है ना. Such a one is only one who is externally, who has not won over the senses. Such a one is externally oriented. Such people अकर्मकृत सन, कुछ किए बिना, तिष्ठति, बैठ नहीं सकते. You can't, not even for a moment. Therefore, what will they constantly do? Apitu laukik vaidika karma anusthana vyagra. They are always doing either laukik karmas or Vedic karmas. Means either they are doing religious actions, कुछ ना कुछ करते रहना है उनको. तस्मात् अशुद्धि चित्तस्य संन्यासः न संभवति इति अर्थः. Whoever doesn't have chitta shuddhi, for them sannyas is not possible at all. Why? Further he says, because why can they not sit quiet? Why cannot they sit shant hoke? Because karyate hi avashaha. Avashaha is a beautiful word. Aswatantraha. Without any independent control. He says here, chitta shuddhi rahitaha. Without chitta shuddhi. Avashaha. No control. Aswatantra eva san. Swatantrata nahi hai, which means what? Can anybody explain this? Because it should be easy to understand. अगर इंद्रियों पे कंट्रोल नहीं है, that means अवशः है वो, हेल्पलेस है वो. कैसे हेल्पलेस है? He says अस्वतंत्र है. He has no independence of his own. Means what?
He's not free. He's tied to his indriyas.
He's tied to his. Means what? Anybody can connect?
The Indriyas will drive him wherever he has to go,
Excellent.
like the Rath ka example.
The Indriyas are powerful and they will drive the person. Very good. Like Rath ka example. What is the Rath example? Akanksha, what is it?
Like the Hanji Dikji. So like the in the Rath जैसे 5 अलग-अलग घोड़े होते हैं, वैसे हमारी इंद्रियां हैं, और अगर हर घोड़ा अलग डायरेक्शन में भागेगा, बिकॉज हर इंद्री जितनी इंद्रियां हैं, हर चीज अलग अलग परसीव कर रही है, अलग अलग चीजों की तरफ हमें अट्रैक्ट करती है. तो अगर सारथी घोड़ों पर कंट्रोल डायरेक्टली अच्छे से ना बनाकर उनको भागने दे जहां वो भागना चाहते हैं, तो कभी भी रथ एक डायरेक्शन में नहीं जा पाएगा. स्पेशली जिस डायरेक्शन में सारथी लेके जाना चाहता है, उस डायरेक्शन में तो बिल्कुल नहीं जाएगा. इनफैक्ट एक डायरेक्शन में भी जा पाए वो बहुत बड़ी बात है. सो दैट्स द सेम थिंग विद द इंद्रियस.
Exactly. Very, very good. Very good. That is the power of the senses. In the second chapter, what did we see? Does anybody remember from second chapter? Any verse? That'll be a homework otherwise. When the Indriyas...
And in the second chapter, like especially even the most सधे हुए लोग भी कई बार इंद्रियों के वश के साथ बह जाते हैं. ये हमने सेकंड चैप्टर में किया. तो आई मीन सिंस यू वर आस्किंग.
हाँ जी, बिल्कुल. Homework will be pick up the verse. That is the meaning. So that you are, Indriyas have force in them. We saw it in details. वो अपने आप मन को बहा के ले जाते हैं. इंद्रियां मन को खींच के ले जाती है. That's the clue. Which verse it is in second chapter? इंद्रियां मन को खींच के ले जाती है अपने विषयों की तरफ. Therefore, in second chapter he said, स्थित प्रज्ञा वही बनेगा who has control over his indriyas. इंद्रिय निग्रह is a very important part. उसके बिना बुद्धि स्थिर नहीं होएगी. 67. Good. Yes. So he says, chitta shuddhi rahitah avashah aswatantrah eva san. Why is it that a person is helplessly drawn to action. Where is the connection of thought? अगर कोई जीव सोचता है कि बिना कर्म करे मैं बैठा रहूं और वो शांति मुझे प्रिय है, I like that. मैं शांत तो हूं. Why? Because I'm not doing anything. So I appear shant, I appear restful, I'm not agitated, I'm not disturbed. Therefore, I desire this shanti. Such a one, thinking that he's shant, बैठ नहीं पाएगा. That thinking is wrong. Why? Because helplessly he will do karma. Why? How? Prakriti jaihi gunaihi. Born from the gunas of Prakriti. अपने अपने गुणों के हिसाब से वो गुण आपको अवश्य helplessly push करेंगे into activity. So if your gunas is based on sattva, rajas and tamas, if you are a high rajasic person, you will have a lot of action that will get pushed from within. But if you're restraining yourself and saying, no, this shanti is priya, I don't even want to start. A lot of people who take to sannyas ashram, many people, is it a we cannot generalize because a person himself should know himself herself. But sannyas का लक्षण है, यहाँ clearly कहा है, कर्म जन्य चित्त शुद्धि एव अधिकारी for sannyas. And sannyas is for what? Not to get respite from karma. Sannyas is for what? So that now you can have opportunity in your life for Atma Chintanam. This will also take many years. Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasana will also take many years. So that in a lifetime, you are able to come to the goal of your birth. Therefore, sannyas is allowed. But if as a sannyas, without chitta shuddhi, prakritir jai gunaihi, your own nature will push you forward into doing various activities according to your own gunas. So far we are clear?
हाँ जी दीदी जी.
So yataha,
See, just one clarity I wanted.
yeah.
So Dikti, you said a person who does into karma also gets locked in that cycle. How exactly does that happen? Is that the answer that you just gave? That he will be bound by his nature to do some activity, and then the sansaric cycle will start.
Yes. We'll just come to the next verse and see if this question gets answered. If not, we'll take it up separately. Okay. The answer is in the next verse also. It's a continuity. 5th and 6th are a continuous thought flow. So he says, this swabhavik nature of oneself, gunash chalaka, gunaha chalaka. These gunas are the chalaka. Chalaka means drive करते हैं आपके कर्मों को. आपके गुण ही आपके कर्म बनाते हैं. So जो गुणों से आप बंधे हो, अपने पूर्व कर्मों से, अपनी सोच से, जिन गुणों के साथ आप जुड़े हो, वही गुण अब आपको आगे चला रहे हैं. So what happens? He says, सर्वदा कर्माणि कुर्वतः, constantly engaged in karma, ashuddha buddhehe, the ones whose buddhi is not shuddh, राग द्वेष बैठा है, काम क्रोध लोभ मोह मद मात्सर्य, they are your driving force of life experiences. You have a vision of separation, me and mine, ये मेरे नहीं. That separation is ashuddhi. That ashuddha buddhi hi sarva karma sannyasah na sambhavati. It is not possible to have a stage where you can have that Naishkarmya bhav. Sarva karma sannyas is not mandatory, is not eligible for you. You're not eligible for sarva karma sannyas. Even if you take it, he's going to say now. Because sarva karma sannyas is not possible, just to complete the sentence, sannyasa nibandhana jnana nishtha sambhavati iti artha, na sannyasa nibandhana. संन्यास से जुड़ के जो आत्म चिंतन करना है, आत्म मननन करना है, आत्म करेक्शन करना है ऑफ द आई नोशन विच इज caught up with the body today, वो you will not be able to have. So jnana nishtha is also asambhav. Therefore, he said in 5th verse, 2 aspects are taken up. One is be watchful about your own tendency to avoid doing your duties. You must identify with some set of duty. You identify your set of duty. आपको शास्त्र विहित ड्यूटी आइडेंटिफाई करनी है. What is your shastra vihit duty according to your roles and stages of your life? Remain engaging in them, and through karam yoga purify it. And do not think that if you've started something, then it will, because it's getting troublesome, tiresome at some point, and it has still not produced your chitta shuddhi, giving it up will be an error. Therefore, helplessly you will be pushed to action sometime or the other, even if you force yourself not to do something. And that clarity, that topic he says in the next verse. What happens if achitta shuddha manaha, but he takes sannyas, which means apne karmo ko chhod diya. Sannyas, let's not just understand it, again I'm repeating, as just the sannyas ashram. That is included, but sannyas even at the mental level, where there is a phal sannyas, phal tyag, ahankar tyag, that alone can qualify for chitta shuddhi. Usko emphasis dete hue, he says, yatha kathanchit outsukya matrena. Very beautiful. If someone even takes to prematurely, without chitta shuddhi, prematurely enters sannyas ashram, or mentally withdraws themselves from doing their duties even in a grahasth ashram, नहीं कर रहे क्योंकि बहुत कष्ट है, so you find relations breaking, you find families breaking, you find the society itself shifting their harmony, sense of harmony, because holding values is strenuous, is difficult. For some reason, whoever says I'm giving it up, outsukya matrena. Outsukya means out of some reason or the other, utsakta se. What happens in that? How do they live? कुछ किए बिना कितना आराम है. You get your bhiksha 3 times a day or 2 times a day, and if you want to do some seva of the ashram, do, or of some very restricted scope you can engage in. So without chitta shuddhi, Shastra's importance is to point out कब आप तैयार हो ज्ञान मार्ग के लिए. All this is discussion for that. Let's not forget that. When are you ready for that? As long as you have desires within you, if by wrong thinking or by fanciful imaginary thinking, attractive thinking, holding some shobhana adhyasa, if you are going to avoid doing what you're supposed to do, your chit still has ragadvesh, then tat phala bhang na bhavati. That चित्त शुद्धि का जो फल मिलना चाहिए, you will not enjoy that. So what happens in the 6th verse? I'll just start the verse, I'll just chant it once. कर्मेन्द्रियाणि संयम्य य आस्ते मनसा स्मरन् इन्द्रियार्थान् विमूढात्मा मिथ्याचारः स उच्यते. कर्म इंद्रियों को संयम में रख के जो बैठा है, आस्ते मीन्स बैठा है, य is यह, whoever is sitting looking very peaceful. If I go on a short vacation or a very long vacation, let's say I have a paid vacation for 1 year, someone's paying for my vacation for 1 whole year, what will I be doing? I don't have to work at all. My bread, butter, my comforts, everything is provided for. Some generous, some who are those people? Benevolent people have said 1 year take chutti. 1 year I am not going to do anything. Then I am sitting. Means sitting doesn't mean I'm just sitting the whole time. I'm doing whatever I want to do. I go here, there, anywhere, I enjoy. But my focus is not at all on doing something. मुझे कुछ करने की आवश्यकता नहीं है. So I am relaxed. I'm sitting doing nothing. Krishna says here, whoever sits doing, controlling the karma indriya. What are your karma indriyas? Organs of action. Anybody remembers your 5 organs of action through Tattvabodh?
Legs, hands,
And time for revision.
Reproductive organs.
Reproductive and
eyes, tongue,
no, that's Gyanendriya. And speech.
Skin.
Hanji?
skin is also Dhyan, right? Skin.
Which one? Skin is Gyan. Skin is Gyan.
Yeah.
Gyanendriya. You must revise this. Very important. It keeps coming back again and again. So your 5 karmendriyas are, your organs of action are your hands, your feet, your speech. Vak is your organ of action. Your organ of procreation and your organ of evacuation. These are your 5 organs. Whoever sits, sanyamya, yam is the root here. Yam means control karna. Some jo prefix laga hai, that some means well controlled. Means you have controlled your organs of action. Rok ke rakha hai. When you get angry and you want to give 5 words to someone, give it back to them once. But you just say, forget it, not worth it. And you stop yourself. Means your organ of action you have controlled, you have restrained. So far, so good. But manasa smaran, in your mind it goes on. You keep remembering that in your mind. मन से उसके बारे में सोचते रहते हो. So even if you have not given it back to them, your mind is constantly thinking about it. मन से याद कर रहे हो. Supposing there is an object you really like, you want, you went somewhere and you liked it, you stopped yourself from getting it. At that time you thought, no, I should not. But later on, manasa smaran, your mind goes on dwelling on it. those who have controlled their organs of action, but the mind is left thinking about it. मन चल रहा है उसमें. कहाँ जा रहा है मन? इंद्रिय अर्थः, अपने अपने इंद्रियों के विषयों में. Your mind goes on. So you were angry at someone, you did not, you controlled yourself, but your mind is going to that indriya ka arth, that object. Such a person, Bhagwan is saying, is vimudhatma. Vimudha. Mudha. What is mudha? Mudha means जिसकी बुद्धि, foolish is English translation, but जिसकी बुद्धि विपरीत है, who thinks right is wrong and wrong is right, aviveki, whose thinking is wrong. मूढ़ व्यक्ति foolish भी है इसलिए because thinking ही उसकी नहीं है, गलत सोचता है. विमूढ़ completely wrong, उल्टा सोचता है, राइट को रॉन्ग और रॉन्ग को राइट सोचता है, सत्य को मिथ्या और मिथ्या को सत्य सोचता है, अच्छे को बुरा और बुरे को अच्छा सोचता है. जिसकी सोच ही उल्टी है, thinks wrongly, is lost, is on a wrong path, गलत रास्ते है. Such a one, उसका आचरण कैसा है? He says, Krishna says, मिथ्याचारः सह उच्यते. He is called a मिथ्याचारी, hypocrite. जिसका आचरण मिथ्या है. Means, what is mithya? We have done it in details. What is mithya?
The reflection.
Reflection.
Mithya is something which, not true.
Not true.
Sansar is mithya.
Not real, not true.
Illusion.
Illusion is a little misleading word. It's not
Unreal.
Unreal. Not real. So what is his nature that he's showing? It's a projection. It's not a real true person. Mithyachari hai. In society you find this. Those who have been, whose previous generations have been rich in life, and if the present generation has lost it, that luxury that their fathers and grandfathers or had lived, and they have this princely aristocratic behavior, even when they have lost it, they continue to live in that for a period of time. In society, we observe that, isn't it? Entitlement, correct. You feel that they are just putting up a projection. They are not really rich anymore, but mithyachari hai means you are only trying to project who you are not, what you are not, a false image of your own self. You present a false image of yourself, which means you are so disconnected with your own being, who you are. You are showing who you are not, what you are not. So Krishna's topic is what Arjuna has asked, what is Shreyas for me? He is caught up in a conflict. He's subject to grief, deep grief. He's suffering. Shok and Moh are his immediate experiences. Vishad is his state in which he is finding his own mind. He's Vishad Grast, means deeply seated in a depressive state of mind. To remove his Vishad, to help his Vishad out, second chapter Krishna started with Jnana Yoga. And in that Jnana Yoga, he says, you still got to do what you have to do. And in that, he said, the method of doing it should be that you start doing it for the sake of your chitta shuddhi rather than doing it for some limited end. But those who do not do karma for chitta shuddhi, they controlling their own organs of action, sitting as if sitting peaceful, but mentally dwelling on it, such people are mithyachari, says Krishna. And just a few words here, Madhusudan Saraswati puts it well, gives a lot of clarity here. Yaha, who is that Yaha? The one who is Vimudhatma. किसको कहोगे विमूढ़ात्मा? Who's got raga, dvesha, adi, dushita, antakarana. I found this word so descriptive of whose thinking is wrong. You can identify it in society. जिसकी सोच विपरीत हो जाती है ना, उसकी सोच के पीछे क्या है? राग द्वेष आदि दूषित है अंतकरण. What is दूषित? What will be the English translation for दूषित? Impure.
Polluted.
Polluted. Gee, polluted. Polluted is the right word. Their antakaran is what? Their mind. Unki soch is polluted with rag and dvesh adi. What is adi? Etc. What is included in etc.?
Rag, Dvesh, Matsarya, Mad, Mamta, all of those.
All of this. That list should be in front of us always. What is that dushit antakaran? So the one who is Vimudhatma means who? Whose antakaran is dushit with raga, dvesha, kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, me, mera, aham, mama, acquisition, possession, greed, anything that you can think of which is disturbing your mind. Attachment to the extent of separating others. Limited vision. That, all of that. If someone is of Vimudhatma, has Vimudhatma and Autsukya Matrena, only for the sake of Utsukta. Utsukta means गलत सोच है तो एक मन में एक impulse आ जाता है. And most people who take to sannyas, I am again generalizing, sannyas is meant for Atma Vidya, is meant for spiritual gati. But everyone doesn't understand this. So even after taking it, if you take it also, there's a very dedicated, disciplined life that is to be led. But besides that point, just for the sake of avoiding karmas, because society gives you the privilege, you get the respect, you get honor, people will come to you for all kinds of what they should handle themselves. They will take the easy, and whatever you tell them, they'll gulp it down just because they see you in a better position and a better pedestal. They have put you on, etc. Utsukta, the outsider doesn't know how have you taken sannyas. Is your manaha sthiti sannyasi or not? So outsukya matrena, just for the sake of it, karm indriyani, vak, pani, adini. Now you get the list. Vak, pani, pada, upastha, payu. All the five. Sanyamya. What is sanyamya? Nigrihya. Nigraha karke. Control karke. And what are these? Bahirindriyahi. These are only external organs of action. Karmani akurvan iti. Yavat. As long as they are controlling their external organs of action, just controlling them by wrong thinking, keeping ragadvesh within oneself. Manasa rag adi prerita indriya arthan shabdadinan tu atma tattvam smaran na asate. Or else, if they have in the mind ragadvesha and they have still managed to control the indriyas from their organs, atma tattvam smaran aste na aste krita sanyasa aham iti abhimanena. They have this abhiman. I have sannyasa, so I have grown out of karmas. We won't find this in our grahastha ashram so much, but this is very common problem in. That's right. It is a very common problem in, when you go to ashrams and you see people. There, wrong thinking is as prevalent there also. So many people at certain stage of their initial stage of sannyas may think, oh, now I have taken sannyas, I don't need to do karma. Why are you putting me into karma? Just as Arjun's asking, they also ask. So, स्मरण आस्ते कृत संन्यास अहमिति, मैंने तो संन्यास लिया है, कृत संन्यास, मैंने तो संन्यास लिया है, अभिमान कर्म शून्य, I will not do anything. No, I will not do anything. So many, even in grahasthas, are like that. They prefer things coming to them rather than doing it. Tishtati, they remain. Saha mithyacharaha, they are called mithyacharis. They are mithyachar. Unka acharan mithya hai. And who will be a viveki? How does Shastra Vidya help us? In two ways. It first and foremost is a yardstick for us. It shows us the mirror. And second is, because there is a transparency everywhere, you can see it functioning. Mithyacharaha is rampant everywhere. So you know how to avoid a pitfall. Sattva Shuddhi Abhavena, because there is an absence of Chitta Shuddhi. Phala Yogyata, Phala Yogyatvat Papachara Uchyate. That मिथ्याचारी जुड़े हैं फल से अंदर, मन में, मन से फल नहीं त्यागा, इच्छाएं बहुत भरी हुई हैं, उन्हें बहुत कुछ चाहिए जीवन में. They look forward to happiness, but they don't want to deserve that happiness. They don't want to work for that happiness. They don't want to put in the effort for that. They want it without effort. That mithyacharaha, this Madhusudan Saraswati as a commentator calls them papachara. Unka acharan is worthy of collecting papa. Means inauspicious. It's not right. That acharan is not, I don't even have the right word for it. That acharan is not respectable. That acharan is not to be encouraged. Why? There is a verse here, he says, because you are ready for Jnana Yoga, O Arjun. Remember question that Arjun has asked in 3rd chapter? Jyayasi chet karmanaste mata buddhir janardana tatkim karmani ghore mam niyojayasi keshava vyamishreneva vakyena buddhim mohayasi tadeva vada nishchitya. Tadekam vada nishchitya. Tell me one thing. You have confused me by showing me the benefits of Jnana Yoga as direct, and yet you tell me do karma. Ekam vada. Tell me with certainty what I should do. So Krishna is telling him over here why he's an adhikari for karma and not for renouncing his duties. Therefore, he says, what is sannyasa meant for? Beautiful verse. This is in Dharma Shastra. Dharma Shastra says, you are ready for Jnana Yoga. One we have seen when there is Chitta Shuddhi. When there is Chitta Shuddhi and your mind is in your control, your indriyas are not running after. राग द्वेष आदि से दूषित नहीं है आपका अंतकरण जब, क्योंकि कर्म को आपने योग करके चित्त शुद्धि आपकी हुई है. Therefore, such a one who is ready for sannyas, उसकी स्टेज में लक्षण क्या है? त्वं पदार्थ विवेकाय संन्यासः सर्वकर्मणाम्. All actions, sarva karma sannyas is sanctioned only for one who can do tvam padartha vivek ke liye kaya, for the sake of doing tvam padartha viveka. What is tvam padartha viveka? What is the Mahavakya? Tat tvam asi. That tat means the creator, Ishvara. Tvam is you. Asi, you are that. There is ekatvam between the creator and you. Tvam padarth ke vivek ke liye, to discern your own nature, you can sit without doing karma, because your antakaran is now not running to the sense objects and pleasures. Your antakaran is, the minute it is freed of action, it goes to its swarupam. In other words, as I always say, when you wake up in the morning, what are your first thoughts? Those first thoughts tell us what has occupied our mind yesterday. अगर हमारा मन बहिर इंद्रियों और बहिर विषयों से भरा हुआ है, तो कर्म ही करना is advised in शास्त्र. अपने कर्मों में रहो और चित्त शुद्धि पे काम करते रहो. Because sannyas is when you're ready for Tvam-pada. I'll end with a story. You all know that story, and you all also know that I'm not good at telling stories, but I will convey the point. Remember a butcher whose job
Yes, please.
as a butcher. Can you tell the story better? And then maybe you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And not better, but I'll try doing justice. So there was a pandit and there was a butcher. So the butcher did his duty. He, since through generations, he was his family had been involved in cutting chickens. So he did his duty. So before he would cut or slaughter any chicken or meat, he would take the name of Ram and do it, right? On the opposite side, there was on the other street, there was a Brahmin who would keep cursing the butcher and saying he was a Vedic Brahmin, he used to do all his duties, responsibilities, all Vedic dharma, was all into it. But he would keep cursing the butcher and saying that, you come to me, I will bring you to that path or something. And so when both of them died, right? So Yama's assistant comes to the Pandit and he says, you are going to hell. So he's like, no, there has been some mistake. I did all the Vedic karmas, I did all things. How can you put me into that? I followed Vedic karma very religiously. So how is it possible? I think there's been some mistake. Please go back and see if this is the right. So Yama just told so when the assistant reached, Yama asked the assistant to go and ask him that how many times did you curse the butcher? Right, and also the fact was that the butcher was going into heaven because though he was doing his duty, he knew it was wrong, but he was doing it to basically serve his family. So before cutting any or before butchering any meat or chicken, he would take Ram's name and do it. Right. So this was the story.
Excellent, very good, thank you. Therefore, where was the action? Here there is supposedly a pandit whose physical organs of action are doing yajna adi karma, but his mind is cursing. He's dvesh in his mind. On the other hand, there is a butcher whose organs of action are actually doing the act of killing, but his mind is having Ram Nam. And
He was doing Ishwar Arpan.
he was doing Ishwar Arpan. Absolutely. So, whose chit got Shuddh? The one whose man has been offered, mind is offered, his action is offered to Ishvara. He goes to heaven, he goes to Swargalok and enjoys all the, actually goes to Brahmalok, has the Shravanam Adhyanam of the Shastra. He has the fruits of Karma Yoga, and as a result of which he gets Siddhi, accomplishment. His life takes accomplishment. And where other, on the other hand, his life goes to Narakam, because it's not just keeping your organs of action controlled. If your mind is dwelling on something as organ, as pleasures, sense enjoyments, मगर बाहर से आप हेलो है आपका, सात्विक हो, दिख रहे हो बहुत, etc. And you have, so there are people who say that, especially when you go towards more higher realms of Himalayas and ashrams, where you won't even know their names. Such great acharyas could be there. We will never get to know them properly in society, in the mainstream. They do quietly their study and stay by Ganga and etc. When they take sannyas, it is, I believe, they are told, if you have come this far, and your mind will go down to where those in the plains, those people are living and what they are doing, versus a person who stays on the plains but he's constantly working towards, how am I to reach that place where I can be free of it? Who will be better of the two? Have I spoken it clearly?
The second one, the
Naturally. So, this is Gita in actual guidance, and why it is a savior to souls. It saves us from patan, it saves us from a downfall, because it's like, how a doctor gives us a prescription to cure the ailment. हमारे मन राग avidya से, there is nothing else but mala, because of avidya, not knowing who we are. In that jiva bhav, it is choiceless to have raga, dvesh, etc. Therefore, how to purify yourself? So, O Arjuna, you have dvesh for Kauravas, you have anger, you have felt been betrayed by them, you have a lot of mamatvam, ye mere nahi hai, even at a grahast level, all these impurities surface all the time. That is why grahast ashram was meant for purification. But as we have lost the Vedic culture and we don't understand the importance, grahast ashram has also become a bhog ashram. But grahast ashram means it will give you an opportunity day in and day out how to purify yourself. Without grahast ashram, you could not have moved on to vanaprasth or to sannyas. The raga dvesh, that is, and now I'll answer directly, Divya, what you'd asked. If within yourself your desires are latently there and you're not expressing them, working to identify them and working for them, because you think they'll put you in a cycle of karma or struggle, etc., then you will be a mithyachari. Because अंदर तो है ना, फल भोगने की इच्छा तो है, कर्म करने की इच्छा नहीं है. Do you see the difference? मुझे फल भोग तो चाहिए, मगर मुझे कर्म नहीं करना. What is कर्म योग? कर्म को तो करना है, फल को त्यागना है. कर्म को नहीं त्यागना, फल को त्यागना है. ओ अर्जुन, फल को त्याग के जब कर्म करेगा तो तेरे चित्त से राग द्वेष दूषित मल ढीला पड़ेगा, तेरी इंद्रियों पे तुझे ज्यादा वश आएगा, तेरे मन पे तुझे वश होगा, तेरा अंतकरण जैसे जैसे शुद्ध होगा. Then will start the vichar. And I'll repeat this a billion times because Shastra tells us, not because I'm saying it. Your vichar sthiti cannot come before. It's not by this study and by knowing more and more text. विचार की स्थिति नहीं आती है, विचार की स्थिति जन्म लेती है. It's like a metamorphosis of your mind. That when you are sitting relaxed, what occupies your mind? If anything to do with the higher is occupying your mind, either through bhakti, अपने आप मन चाहता है उस तरफ, or because this is a topic of Atma and Atma Vichar, your man comes to its source, keeps identifying where is this I, kahan ho raha hai, where is this cognition, what is consciousness, what is Atma, etc. Where does your mind go? That indicates aapki chitta shuddhi. So Arjun, be careful. Premature giving up of your duties will be detrimental for you. You will be a mithyachari, pretentious person you will become. And in 12th and 13th chapter, he'll give us one of the qualities. A jnani is unpretentious. One of them. Okay? So we'll end here. Is that okay? Any doubts, any questions, any clarifications?
Very, very clear today, extremely clear.
Great. This is such an important chapter. However many times it needs to be spoken, because this is the main essence. Like we said, second chapter gave us the summary of the whole Gita. Third and the fourth chapter is a summary of the Karam Yoga. Is not summary, is elucidating Karam Yoga. And Karam Yoga के अलावा कोई माध्यम ही नहीं है जीवन में, human beings में, which can purify your mind. And therefore you find so many religions. One more thing I'll say and stop here. What makes Vedic system different from all the religions in the world? All religions accept a founder and they have maximum, they say, prayers or worship to the founder, on the grace, on blessings, etc. In Vedic karma, in Vedic tradition, in the Vedas, your prayer is an action. कर्म को प्रेयर करना है, प्रेयर नहीं करनी है. Do you see the difference? कर्म को प्रेयर करना है. Karam to be done as a prayer, Karam to be done as a worship. Which religion teaches us this in the world? Where is this taught? Do your karmas as prayer, as worship. Our entire concept of seva comes from here.
When you to be done as an offering.
As an offering.
As an offering.
The focus is on what? Not on prayer. The focus is on karma. That's the highlight. Prayer it becomes, but all other religions you will have prayer is the main focus. Asking. It's a very subtle difference. Ya pashyati sa pashyati. Okay, we'll end it here. आप कंक्लूड करेंगे राजेंद्र जी?
हाँ जी. वो सर्वेशान, वो मुझे सर्वेशान बोलना है ना
जी।
ओम सर्वेशां स्वस्तिर्भवतु, सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु, सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु, सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु, सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामया, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तां न्यायेन मार्गेण महीं ईशा, गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यम्, लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु, काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः, पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी, देशोऽयं शोकरहितः, ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
Recording has stopped.
धन्यवाद दीप्ति जी।
धन्यवाद। Thank you everyone.
दीप्ति जी, वो ना मेरी वाइफ आपसे एक क्वेश्चन पूछना
The
चाहती है।
broadcast of
जी,
Facebook
जी,
Live has stopped.
जी। Thank you.